Okay guys, Tyranid in 6th edition. This is going to be an update video for my previous Tyranid Tactica that I've done in the past. And this is, so I'm going to jump right in and see where I start. Now, this is sort of a hodgepodge of the units that I have in my current army I'm running at the moment. And you're probably thinking, whoa, that's a lot of different stuff. But let me explain. Now, the theory I have behind Tyranids is the following. If you look at the Tyranid Codex and think of other armies, what you normally do when building an army is you think, right, how can I deal with X? How can I deal with Y? How can I deal with Z? And the theory behind this is you're thinking of answers to potential questions. Now the problem is with the Tyranid Codex, in my opinion, is it struggles to find good answers to a lot of the questions. So straight away you're suffering a problem because you think, well, I've got some stuff that's good in combat, but there's a lot of stuff out there that's better in combat. I've got some stuff that's good at shooting, but there's a lot of stuff out there that's better at shooting, and so on and so forth. So when we struggle to answer questions, we need to make sure we're asking questions, and this is where my theory of Tyranids comes into play. When I play with my Tyranids, I make sure that I get the maximum coverage of potential threats on the board. So at 1500 points, I've got Trigons, I have the Doom of Malantai in a Spore Pod, I have Hive Guard, I have a Turbigon, I have a Flying Hive Tyrant, I have 10 Yungal Gene Stealers, I have Gaunts, I have 2 of these guys, and what we try and do is every turn we need to be making my opponent think, what do I do? What is the priority? You know, do I shoot the 2 Trigons and let the Flying Hive Tyrant come and get me? Do I shoot the Flying Hive Tyrant, let the 2 Trigons come and get me? Do I ignore the big stuff completely and kill the Gaunts? Do I go for the Hive Guard because they're going to shoot me? And all the while, in the back of his mind, he's going to be thinking, well, these Yungal Gene Stealers are going to pop out of cover any turn coming. The Doom of Malantai is going to drop down any turn coming. And this is what you need to make your opponent think. You need to get him worried about what to do with what. And it sounds simple, but it's quite difficult to do. You have to be willing for your 2 Trigons to die. If I finish a game and the 2 Trigons and the Tyrant are still alive, I've probably lost. But there's been many games where it's the other way around. You have to be willing to sacrifice things. This Trigon is a big model to hide. You're very rarely going to get cover saves. You are very, very rarely going to be out of line of sight. So you're going to take shots. You have no invulnerable save. The Trigons are going to take the wounds, but that's fine. Because you've got, the Hive Guard will be shooting things back. The Yungals will jump out of cover and eat things. The Turbigon will move into midfield and bash things with its crushing claws. The Flying Hive Tyrant will fly around the flank and, shoot side armor with 12 strength 6 shots. And this is the fairly simple theory, but it's hard to put into practice. It's as soon as you can get over the barrier of accepting the loss of things like Trigons, there'll be many times where my Trigons don't kill a single model on the board, but what they do is they take 3 turns of shooting to take down, and in the meantime the rest of my army's in position and I've pretty much won the game, and it's happened on numerous occasions. So this is the Tyranid conundrum, is rather than answering questions, we ask questions, and you need to make sure you're asking enough questions, and if you do that, your opponent's going to have a very, very tough time, because like I've said, I start the board with 2 Trigons, a Turbigon, a Flying Hive Tyrant, 3 Hive Guard, 20 Gaunts, all the while the Doom of Malantai and 10 Yungals are sat in reserve, and it does become a scary, scary prospect. And this is the simple overall theory behind my Tyranids. And each individual aspect of this army has its own individual sort of theory and tactic that goes with it. So I will start plucking away each part of the army and each part of the theory to give you guys some answers and share a bit of knowledge. But yeah, so this is the way I play Tyranids. It's not about spamming things. It's not about trying to put together a heinously powerful army. It's about panicking my opponent into making mistakes, into choosing the wrong target. It's about messing with your opponent's target priority. Normally, you play an objective game, you want to kill the scoring units, but can you be disciplined enough to shoot gaunts when there's two Trigons screaming forward towards you? It's a delicate process, and it's a dangerous thing to do. So yes, so if you're interested in Tyranid, stay tuned. I will share some knowledge, and yeah, I'll get back to you guys. Awesome, cool, later.